reading through listener questions, and here's one that's a doozy. I don't think I've covered yet. If I have, you're just along for the ride. Let's see. Appreciate the content. I've looked for a video on this and don't see one. Let's see. If there is, could you direct me to it? Let's see. Could you do a video on no shoots and partials? I shot my first USPSA match. I felt lost on partials and no shoots as to if I should be going for all alphas or going for center of available target at a faster speed. This is good. There's a lot to talk about. Let's see. Should have been more prepared. Let's grab. All right. So, let's say, honestly, I hate talk like this, but it depends. It really does. So, for example, let's say the target presentation looks like this. For non-USPSA nerds, the brown side of the target is the target you shoot. The white side of the target is the penalty. So, if you see something like this, you need to normally, it'll be 2 hits per target. So I need to shoot this target twice without hitting the no-shoot target. Otherwise, this will be a penalty. And if I don't make it up with the hit on this target, I'm going to lose points for that. So we could just say, as opposed to if you do something for real, it's just high accountability targets. It'd be, the same but different. So USPSA nerds look at this stuff and it's like, all right, do I want... Honestly, people get in their own way. I'll say it that way. People think about this way too hard. It needs some consideration, but people, I think about... All right, well, I'll just say it. So, if you're looking at the stage and you want to look through like, hey, what's the hit factor to this? Do I need the alphas? Do I need the Charlies? I would try to get that thought out of your mind just to begin with. I'm not smart enough most of the time to know those kind of things, and sometimes it puts you in a situation where you do things you probably shouldn't do. I'll give you some examples. Let's say this thing is at, this exact presentation is at 15 yards. I don't care if the hit factor is 5 or 500. If I look at that and it's like, I probably want to hold a C line, probably, and shoot reactively, so dot press, very high accountability. 15 yards is a far enough ways away. Just don't get a no-shoot. However, then let's say this exact presentation's at 3 yards. Then it's like, okay, there's dot offset. If I just hold, I don't know, an inch down from the AC line, I'll get alphas. I'll have plenty of room. I can shoot the gun straight. Or maybe you hold right on the AC line because you know with dot offset, it's going to drop them down just a little bit. And then it's like, it's easy to get the alphas. That's not a big ask at all for that distance or difficulty. But I'll suggest this should be a little bit irrespective of like hit factor math nonsense. At the high levels of the game, yes, of course. There's times where you have to know that, well, just texting with my friend Christian Seiler before I hit record. We'll do some name dropping, I guess. But Christian is a guy where he does look at the hit factor and all that kind of stuff. But he's one of, I'll say, the top 3 shooters in the world. For most people, I'll include myself in that, you and me, when you look at the target, you need to do a gut check, a real talk gut check. Can I make the shot? And what am I capable of doing? I don't care what the hit factor is. Can I make the shot? So, regardless of what hit factor is, you see this, a really tight presentation at, let's say, a medium distance. You look at that, you're like, oh, that's easy. I do that in practice all the time. Or you look at that and you say, I think I can make that. I should be able to. I hope I can. You're already, like, that tells me you already know the answer to the question. So that's kind of a more of a, more obvious or an easier cut and dry one. When you start to see target presentations, forgive me for mixing target types. This just happened to be what was handy and right next to me. Then maybe it's more complicated or more of an interesting conversation. So for this, do you slow down and get the A's? Do you just take AC? The problem with this sometimes, so let's say this is it's a scaled target, but let's say this is a 7-yard target or a 10-yard target. Plenty of A-zone. This would not be a difficult shot. Obviously on a scale to full-size target. So when you start to think about, do I need the A's? Do I not? It's like, there's a lot of A there. Yeah, I'd probably be, holding, regardless of skill level, probably somewhere up in there. Because the other problem you'll run into is you get so afraid of the no-shoots, you hold so far away, you end up missing. Example, like, well, from here to here, let's just take kind of the center of what I see, and I'll hold off in this region. Well, if you follow the sight up, or you accidentally get sight focused, it'd be real easy to either catch one in the neck or send one up over the shoulder. Ugh, dang it. Yeah, I see what you mean there. So it's not so cut and dried. It's just like, do I take the A's or take C's? Regardless of the target difficulty, it's important that you pick a spot. And for practical shooting nerds, you should do that in your walkthrough. So you walk, like when you're walking through, you're very realistic about what you can and can't do. And you make a plan for shots you can actually hit. Not compared to like, well, the hit factor's a 6 and the top guy only had 3 Charlies and I'm going to spend one of my 3 Charlies on this. That sounds stuff, like, being honest, that crap is fun to talk about. And of course, after the stage runs over, I've seen plenty of stories or posts. They're like, oh, I knew what the hit factor of the stage was going to be and I knew I could only shoot 3 Charlies to be competitive. Like, dude, get lost. That's of course, after the story's over or after the stage is over, I could come up with any kind of a narration and turn it into some epic thing where I did some mental math and my mental fortitude, and I really made it happen on this one because I was really paying attention. I knew what needed to be done, and I saw the task ahead of me. Like, get lost. No one does that. So what I'll suggest is you can't choose, like, I have 3 Charlies to spend on this stage. I'm going to spend one of them on this. Like, no, that's not going to happen. What I'll suggest for hit factor is you look at like high hit factor, low hit factor. If you're the type of guy that wants to look at this, generally speaking, lower hit factor stuff, you want the points. So it's probably more advantageous to try to get the A's if you can. But again, I don't care what the hit factor is. If it's like this, maybe you want to go for head box because, like, hey, this is really close to getting a penalty. And you might have to slow down so very much that then the hits kind of become irrelevant because of how much time it's taken you. Otherwise, on a higher hit factor stage, then yes, taking some Charlies are okay. But the problem I see is where people decide, man, this is a grip it and rip it. Don't hold back. It's time to attack. Then you end up with mystery misses, deltas, a lot of Charlies, like 50% alphas Charlies. Just, maybe I'm projecting for me anyway. It's too tough to moderate that to be like, well, I'm going to allow a little bit looser hits on this one. But if I allow looser hits, the next thing you know, I'm just kind of shooting at the silhouettes of the targets and having somewhere 2 shots go on the silhouettes, but they don't really get centered up. Not very much accountability. And the thing in my own training I've noticed is the time difference between kind of allowing looser hits and being, I'll say, more disciplined shooting, pretty negligible. So for most people, I want to suggest you don't have like a push gear in you, all but like podium level guys. For regular shooters, you don't have a podium level ability to like attack, control, push, shoot conservatively, a layup run, like all that kind of stuff. Instead, just shoot the targets the best way you know how. So when you're walking through on the stage, you just need to have, so I'll recap this guy's question again. A video on no shoots and partials, shot his first match, felt loss because he didn't know if he was going for the alphas or the center of available target at faster speed. So to answer that question directly, it's a little bit of a gut check. What are you capable of doing? And what can you do under pressure? If you pay attention in your practice, you should get to a sense where you look at this presentation at 10 yards. I can shoot alphas all day long. I'm very comfortable with that. I've set up that kind of thing. I'm very comfortable. Then when it's like tightened up and you're like, I'm okay shooting for this, like, maybe I'll shoot the corner of the A. Just honestly, maybe you're just picking the area that's kind of the most brown. It's like, hey, I'll take some A's, some C's. I just don't want to get a penalty. So this is going to all boil down to a gut check. Your gut will normally make you right, and that's your intuition speaking to you. The same thing could be said of a stage plan with a really aggressive activator sequence or some shooting on the move. You watch a top guy, like, keep name dropping Christian. You see him shoot, he just walks through effortlessly. It's kind of annoying. Looks like he's not trying that hard, just shooting all these targets in the move. I could look at that and be like, oh, Christian did it. I can do that. Or I could have a little bit of reality. Like, man, he's very, very good. I don't think I could do that. I could shoot a handful of these on the move. These couple targets, I don't have any business doing that. I've tried it in practice before. It didn't go very well. Instead, I need to like post up, stop my feet for, stop my feet moving so I'm stable in a position, dot press, high accountability shooting, or maybe I try to blend a position. So like I'll get over to the next spot and I'll shoot a few targets, then shift, shoot a few targets, as opposed to trying to shoot things while I'm running full tilt and trying to shoot on the move. So, like I said, it's a little bit of it depends, but the things I would caution you for is try not to do the follow the leader on stuff like that, especially if you look at it, I'm not so sure I could do that. Instead, your intuition speaking to you, do you know you can make the shot or can't? When you're visualizing and doing your stage plan, pick spots in the target where you want the bullets to go, and then while you're walking it, program it in. So you're laser focusing on that target. Another common example I should have talked about is when the targets are side by side like this. Like, yep, I can get the A's, maybe holding on the AC line is better. Or sometimes people will hold way out on the C zone and then just for no reason and have bullets kind of stacked right next to each other like a barbecue fork. So, same thing. How far away is the target? What are you capable of doing? And then you want to kind of risk, like how much do you want to risk? At a target like this, imagine this was a full target. Like, would you want to shoot at this small of a little sliver to get the A zone? Because how much chance is there to push the gun just slightly and clip the edge of that no shoot? So, just kind of I think a healthy dose of reality is good. I would advocate you ignore whatever the hit factor is or whatever nonsense information is out there and just try to do like the very best you can do. You're looking to be fast and accurate. Yes, not looking to get penalties. So you look at the target. Is that something I'm comfortable doing? Yes or no? And then you make a plan based on that. The other part you should be getting from this is a person where he doesn't know what to do. That tells you you need to be setting that up in your practice to just try doing a little shooting while moving on mid difficulty. So I put these away. I keep grabbing them. Do like a position entry. So you whack a couple targets, you move across the vision barrier and shoot more targets with a target like this. So a no shoot across the bottom half. Oftentimes you'll find you could still make these shots. This would just be, let's say this is at 7 yards. You could walk in on this target. It would just be reactive shooting. So it'd be dot press, dot press. Each trigger press is tied to a sight picture. So regardless of how I feel in the moment, I'm going to laser focus, let's say the top of the A. I'll wait. Okay, see the color of the sight. I'll press the trigger. The sight lifts. Like, wait, it'll come back. Trust and believe. The sight comes back. I'll see the sight a second time. Then I'll press the trigger. And I end up having very good accountability for where the bullets go. And you're shooting while moving anyway. So it's a place where you could normally afford to press the trigger a little bit slower while you're entering a position or something like that. So hopefully it gives you some stuff to think about. And if it's something you struggle with, something you need to direct your training towards. Appreciate you watching. Like, share, subscribe, all that nonsense. I'm supposed to plug my website, I guess. So it's joelparktraining.com if you want to see, I don't know, class schedule, class organizer junk. I have some YouTube stuff there, but most of you'd find here anyway. So appreciate you watching and have a good day.